Hello everyone, No Respawns here, hope you're doing well. So I have a dual mod review, all from the same dev, and the same dev that we've been reviewing quite a bit recently, just because it happens to be that they seem to have had a rather large burst of inspiration and published quite a few mods close together. So it is Officer in Charge, Toys Out of the Pram, or OICTOOTP. Yes, I did actually have their Twitter open in another tab again, because I will not remember that, but it's fine. The mods are really good, so that makes up for it. Anyway, so basically it's two mods. Both of them are currently on PS4 only. However, my experience with the mod dev is they do tend to, I believe, test on PS4, then they later release on Xbox One, because I know a few of their mods are available on Xbox One, and I think they do stuff on PC. They don't hold me to that. They're quite active in their actual comment sections of their respective mods, so it's quite a good idea just to ask them directly. They're quite approachable and quite succinct in their answers as well. So now the first one, both these mods, by the way, will be getting some serious use by me, because I think the mod dev just seems to follow a lot of builders, and so they tend to make quite a lot of mods that builders specifically want, which is just absolutely grand. I'm going to be reasonably quick. I'm also going to scrap this tree so I can have a little bit more space. Don't worry, I'm not going to save or anything. I just keep running out of building room, right? I've also disabled half my mods, so the menus are a bit more, a little bit less messy. Anywho, right, so the first one is called Posts, Supports, and Beams, and it's about post supports and beams, mate, really. It's a pretty self-explanatory, does exactly what it says on the tin, but it has quite a lot of walls, and a lot of posts, and a lot of other stuff. This is going to be very useful to just kind of a lot more utility to the building, but also just kind of doing a few things, especially on PS4 can't do. It's pretty cool. I could have used it, actually, from the walls, but I'm a moron. I didn't think to get it first. Anyway, so as you see, it's in the main menu, so it's outside of USO integrated. Thank you for the slight lag there. And it's divided into a few sections. So it's in wood first, so the wood, obviously, let's go for that one first, and that one has a few bits. So obviously, they're not all actual posts, so them are just kind of slightly custom or different versions of the standard shack walls. I'll be reasonably fast, because there's quite a lot to show you. There's got the shack floor supports. A lot of the stuff are actually available in other mods. A few of the items are a little bit weird with their movement, but this isn't to do with the mod dev. I think this is this item is actually in the USO mod, and it does the same thing where it snaps into the ground. So some of them will be a bit weird, but I think it's more just the item itself being a bit weird, like this post. A lot of it is posts that we've already got at different angles, but pretty much I can't think of you ever needing any other kind of support after this now. They've seriously just gone and added more than anything. And that is another siren, because I live in East London. I swear, right, like, the second I hit record, it summons them up. It's Tuesday night, lads. Why do you need a siren? Anyway, so there's quite a lot of posts and supports in here. I'll scroll through, because a lot of them are very similar. Not that it's a bad thing at all, but it's just that, you know, it's kind of variations on the same item. I'm going to have quite a lot of fun with these plank pieces, I think. I think some of these are actually already available in the USO mod as well, but they angled a little differently. If I remember correctly, the USO mod doesn't have them vertically like this. And ceiling beams as well. It gets a bit cooler, I think, when you get to the non-wood stuff. That's just my personal preference. So basically in the walls, so in structures, metal walls, you've actually got all of the diner pieces. Now, I probably won't personally use this to make my own diner, but what I might do is use bits of it to kind of build around. For example, I like building, repairing, and patching up stuff. So what I've already kind of been pondering is potentially actually making it look like half the diner's been destroyed, and then using just like this front bit, for example, and the rest has been, I don't know, blown off, and so therefore it's all made of wood. That kind of stuff would be what I would do, though those of you who want to just replicate completely your own diner, you can do that now. Got all the floors, the roofs. The snapping works really well. This mod dev, everything snaps where it's meant to, so all the roof stuff goes on the roof, and all of the floor stuff goes. It's not like where it's all like just kind of on the floor and you have to use the pillar to get it in. It does actually go in exactly where it's meant to, which is pretty cool. Roof with a hole, apparently. Or is that wall hole? Oh, fair enough. Shutters. Oh, shutters. Those would be useful for, what do we call it? red rocket, potentially. Or if you just wanted to shutter up a pre-existing one. I'll quickly scroll through, because you think. Some of this stuff is quite cool, you know, this AC unit here, and these roof pieces, as just kind of adding... And that's quite cool as well. For adding texture to other buildings. For example, I can see this as me kind of adding an AC unit on another building. That kind of thing. Which is quite cool. On the... Now, this is roofs, but it's actually AC pieces. Now, it took me ages to figure these out for a while because, well, some of them do that and ruin my thing, but a lot of them don't, and I was really confused, and I realised it's because they snap to the actual ceiling, so they actually count as roof pieces. Just as a... I think that means that they... do kind of slightly snap to the side. It does mean they are snapping, which means if I were to remove that, it would come off, just as an FYI. But it looks very cool if you actually wanted ducts going at the ceiling. So, for example, I'm thinking of when I finally get to doing the what do we call it? The mechanist layer. These get some good use. But there are a few of them, so most of them snap like that. So they don't go on the floor. However, there are a few pieces... Oh, these pipes are amazing now. These are going to get some good use. These look gorgeous. Oh, I love these. Oh, suits you, sir. But then some of them, like... Go back a second. A few of them don't actually have any collision, and you can place them down. Now, this made me happy. I actually requested this on Twitter, so you're welcome. I'm taking credit for this. So these are the walkways from Diamond City. There are 3 of them. You probably don't notice them looking as awesome as they do right now, and that is because normally they're sunk into the water. However, I was looking through the creation kit, and I saw these and was like, I want that. And then the mod dev replied, and then I forgot to check out the mod later on. But I'm checking it out now, and I was really, really happy when these... So these will get some amazing use. One, as bridges, but also, for example, they could make quite cool... barricades for walls. If I wall up one side, and this could be actually like settlement walls, and this could be like the, you know, the actual the battlements. But also, for example, you could actually just wall this up and put a doorway, and it could be an actual shack. So there's loads of possibilities. So expect to get very sick of those very fast. Also, they've got ladders, which is quite cool. 2 different choices. I'm always complaining about how we don't have ladders. Well, this, though you obviously still can't climb up it, if you, for example, like me, where you don't actually really care if the NPCs can reach a place or not, you just want to make it look like they can, then you can just slap a few ladders on the side. Put like a guard rug on the top, and then normally the NPC will just kind of sort of warp up there when you're sleeping, and then you can just go, oh, but they climbed up the ladder in your kind of own little headcanon. And they've got loads of other ladders too, and this truck ramp, which actually be quite cool for a standard settlement lamp. And there we've got some more pillars, which I'm going to very, very swiftly go through because it's just loads of metal pillars. So we'll just quickly scroll through here. But basically, it's a lot of metal pillars, yeah? A lot. You've got a pillar for any occasion, right? You're good. Yeah, you've got enough bloody pillars now. It's grand. Now, also, because there is a lot to this mod, they've got the nuka border walls. Now, I haven't used these, and I don't really have any space to place them. I don't know if these work, how well these work. You probably need a lot of space, considering, yeah. However, potentially this means, the reason why I don't know if they place very well is they're not even placing in here. But I'm not sure. Anyway, but basically, once they're working properly, you could potentially have your own little fortress, which is all really, really massively tall and very secure looking settlement walls, if you were so inclined. And then a few cinder blocks, slightly angled as well. They really have kind of added loads of stuff. Now, this is my favourite section, alongside the bridges as well, which is they've got junk fence barricades, and these make me so happy. Because now what I don't want to do that rule. Oh wait, we're just gonna board it up. Right, you can't get in there now. Gorgeous. And there we go. No, not in this anymore. This is just fantastic. Little bits like this. Those of you who've kind of downloaded my player home mod know that I've used quite a lot of these to board up windows. You've got pallets here. You've got basically now you could pretty much replicate my player home completely, including having, you know, thin plywood boarded up walls. Basically, anytime you can't be asked to, you know, for example, like these, I could just board up these completely, and that way, you know, it wouldn't look like they were empty houses because they were boarded up anyway. A lot of this stuff is just stuff like these plyboards and this shack bridge that have just been put a different angle, but they look really, really good, and they're going to get a huge amount of use because this is the kind of stuff that I like to use to make other stuff. It's very good fun. You've got doors. got pretty much most of the doors and walls. You've got glass bits, mesh, which is quite cool at a different angle, catwalks, raided tents, big giant barricade wall things. Desk barricades, which is something I didn't really realise I wanted, but now I do. Because now, for example, oh wait, I'm in an office and suddenly we've barricaded this area off. You know what I mean? It looks... You see them a lot when you're like, you know, kind of like... It looks... Obviously this is nowhere near an office, but you see my point. It's quite nice to have, like the kind of Gunner's Plaza, where they've just basically just kind of used whatever they can to kind of barricade off. And they've also got these pre-made ones as well. I don't know if they're going to be adding more, but potentially, which would be quite grand. So that, and there's nothing in the MISC tab because I checked. So that is all of the stuff from the post supports and beams. As I said, it is currently just on PS4. It only came out at the start of March, and this is version 5. So hopefully they might add it to Xbox One and potentially PC as well. Right, now the next mod is for the same mod dev, and this mod is called Lights with Shadows and Beam Effects. Now this is a very niche sounding mod. All of these mods are quite niche, to be fair. Let's move this. I'll leave that one there. But it's very, very cool. And this is another one of those ones that I didn't realise I wanted, but it really, really do want. So first I'm going to put some power down. This is from the solar powered mod. Slowly just kind of slap you here. That's what radiates power. This isn't from this mod, this is from another one. Basically, so this is just really, really well designed for kind of like missing light sources, effectively. So the first thing is they all snap. So ones that snap on ceilings will snap. I don't know, that's actually a basket. I think this is actually their only custom ones. The rest are actual in-game lights. But you've got these desk lamps. Now what they've gone and done is nice. As you can see, you've actually got these light sources that you can place that do require power, so they need to be in the vicinity of a solar power switch. I think that might mean that they don't do that thing that the custom Villa Assets lights do, which is sometimes randomly turn off. But they've got different... Just put it on the top like that, and voila, I have a desk lamp. And they've got all of those desk lamps. This will just be nice for just kind of the missing light sources. You might have to... Oh, no, wait, there we go. It goes at the top like that. So it looks really cool. I don't even hear that, by the way. Someone's creaking a door in the flat upstairs. Some of this stuff, by the way, is also from the creation kit. I couldn't get rid of it. The construction lamps, especially, I absolutely love. And same thing as before. So they've added these. You put them on the top, I think. Yeah. I'm going to put... I think they're bright. Well, there we go. Look at that. Yeah, this is little lights that we've been missing for ages. So this is going to get some Davy love. And if you're so inclined, you can just kind of make your light sources even brighter by just like adding extra lights, if you want. I do on creation kit all the time. Just as a warning though, that does make it a little bit laggy. So you put too many light sources down, it is going to be a little bit frisky. Then we've also got the cage lights as well, which is quite cool. Loads of cool ones. I especially love the hospital lamp. This is going to be great fun. Also occurs to me I should probably get that for my player home at some point. And the subway lamps. And this one as well, which is quite cool. And then all of the ceiling lights actually do snap to the ceiling, which is quite cool. So no need to use a rug glitch. And let me just demonstrate actually. So they just sort of just pop that there. And they say you just put it and it snaps onto it, so voila. And I don't have to worry about rug glitching or anything like that. It's very, 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 very well-designed mod, this. We've got loads of these fluorescent lights. It's a lot. Some of the stuff is possibly available in other mods, but it's a lot of missing lights. Loads of light sources. I like how organised this is. Those of you who use the creation kit know that scrolling through the light sources takes bloody ages. One thing I really like is this quite a bit. Okay, so to place these, so these are light beams. Now to place them, you have to place them as I've mentioned before. So any item that doesn't have, this kind of collision, so it's not red or it's not green, so it's like this, right? You see that there? That doesn't have any collision with it. To place that, I have to have an item go green, and I have to scroll over, make sure everything's green, and then not move, and then I have the light beam, so now I can place this. And then I can see. And now that has a light beam. Obviously, you can spend ages positioning it so it's right. But basically, just kind of adds a little bit more depth and character to your lighting sources. For example, I know Eleonora does this a lot. If you see some of the lighting of her player homes, she's got these light beams coming through. Then she's actually manually placed them in. They look really, really nice. Just as a side, if you ever want to remove that, The way you do that is, I'm not going to do it because it'll take ages for the menu, but you have to exit your workshop and then go back in, and then you can delete that item again. Specifically the ones you can't highlight. I think you have to kind of confirm them, basically. It's the same with the posters, just as an FYI. So they've got quite a lot of these. Let's go through, because we've actually got quite a lot of lights, and I don't want this video to drag on too long. A few of these, I think it's just this one, you do need to pillar glitch in, but a lot of the wall ones do actually snap normally onto the walls. I've got loads of lights. So these are wall light sources, so these just kind of snap in. I quite like this one, actually. It's a bit of a... You might struggle with placing some of them down, but most of them... It's also not the texture of this building is probably a little bit not ideal. For example, you probably might have to pillar glitch them in a bit, but not too much. And then we've got these... Oh, close down. We've got these other ones here. So basically, it's just all the missing light sources. And again, they've got these emergency light beams. So all your kind of wall lights, you've also got beams of them as well, which is quite cool. We've got Xmas Lights as well. And this is obviously, I think, Xmas Lights. I think this is just... Are they coloured lights as well? I'm not too sure. And alongside that, now they've got these wax candles. And then I've had to check, they do actually have the lights as well. Just as a side, those of you who didn't realise this, but those who have the creation kit, you know, but the candles do actually come in these, when you place them in game, in the creation kit, they are actually these separate parts. So you put the puddle down first, and then you put the candle on the top, just as an FYI, and then you can just pop a thing. Voila. That's quite cool as well, I quite like that. The lights the candle lights are really nice because they're quite warm. So, for example, you could use these to, for example, make... you know, if you want to make a fireplace, or, you know, if I wanted to put this in there, say, and make it look like that was on giving off fire or whatever, that would be quite cool. And then these are actually just from the creation kit, I believe. So yeah, that mod's really, really cool. Both of these mods are just kind of adding a small amount of detail. I especially like the lighting mod, because it effectively means you can kind of do away with a lot of the more traditional lighting sources and make something that has a lot more character. Again, both of them are currently on PS4, but hopefully we'll be moving on to Xbox. But that's just me guessing. They usually have moved them onto Xbox in the past and potentially PC. But if not, just harass them until they do. Or don't. Be nice. Anyway, so I will have a new build up in a few days. It's going to be continuing here, which should look quite cool. As a side... I recently, if you are curious and want to check it out, got my first Fallout 4 tattoo. It is a railroad lantern. So in the comment section, I'm going to make a little post which will have a link to my Instagram and also my Twitter, which will have pictures of both if you want to see what my super cool Fallout themed tat looks like. Also, you can half see the Half-Life one I have as well. Still deciding on my later tattoos, but I'm going to be getting one a month. Must be quite cool. Anyway, as always... follow me on Twitter at norespawns. I'll have a new video up soon, as said, and you guys enjoy the rest of your week. You take care.